Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy meal recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make keto hot pockets. These are wonderful. They are not only quick, easy, and delicious, but they are so versatile. You can put any filling you want in these. You can also make multiple batches and keep some in your freezer. That way, anytime you need a quick meal or a quick snack, boom, it's there. All you got to do is pop it in the microwave for a couple minutes and it's ready. Amazing. And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Line a large baking sheet with parchment paper and set it aside for a minute. In a large mixing bowl, combine 60 grams or around a half cup of coconut flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 12 grams or around 2½ teaspoons of baking powder, 2 grams or around a half teaspoon of xanthan gum. If you don't have xanthan gum, you can use psyllium husk powder. Make sure it's the powder, not the whole husk, or gelatin powder. You need this in because this is going to give your dough some stretch and some flexibility, and you need that flexibility for when you fold over the dough to cover your filling. If you don't have that flexibility in your dough, then your dough is liable to crack on you, and then your filling's going to seep out all over the place when you bake your Hot Pockets. So you really do need the xanthan gum or a xanthan gum substitute to give your dough that flexibility. If you're sensitive to coconut flour, you can add some dry seasonings or spices of your choice if you want to. I'm just adding a half teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, and dry parsley. That's my favorite combination to put in breads. You can put whatever seasonings you want, or you can leave it out if you just want a neutral flavored crust. Sift the dry ingredients all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 2 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so they stir in more smooth. Stir the eggs into the dry ingredients until everything is fully combined and all the dry ingredients are moist. Add 1/4 cup of butter that's been melted and cooled. Make sure it is cooled. You do not want to add hot butter. Stir the butter in until everything is fully combined. Add 61 grams or around 1/4 cup of room temperature plain yogurt or sour cream. Again, make sure this is room temperature. Room temperature ingredients combine better, which makes for a smoother dough, which makes for a smoother bread. Stir the yogurt in until everything is fully combined and a dough begins to form. Add 30 milliliters or around 2 tablespoons of warm water. Make sure this is warm. The warmth from the water helps keep your dough soft, which helps keep your bread nice and soft. Stir the water in until everything is fully combined and a soft, smooth dough has formed. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push all the dough to the center of the bowl. Form your dough into a smooth ball. Then massage the dough for about 1 minute. This is going to help absorb any extra moisture, and it's also going to help and make sure that you have the right texture of dough. Your dough should be moist and soft and smooth and should hold together really well. There should not be any chunks falling off, and it should not be sticking to your hands. If it's sticking to your hands, that means it's a little bit too moist, and you need to just add a tad bit more coconut flour until it's not sticking to your hands. The amount of liquid that you need to use sometimes can change a tiny bit more or a tiny bit less depending on the density of your coconut flour. After you've massaged the dough for about a minute, form it back into a ball, then set it aside for just 1 second here. Line a clean work surface with parchment paper. And divide your dough into 4 equal portions. Place 1 portion at a time onto your clean work surface, then cover it with another piece of parchment paper. Roll or press each dough portion out to a square that's around 5 to 6 inches and about 1/4 inch thick, or whatever desired size you're going to want your hot pocket. That would be the size that you would roll each dough portion out. I just line my flatbread press and use that to smash each portion down, and then I just push the sides in to make a square. That's easy for me, but again, you can do it however you want and whatever size that you think you're going to want. Repeat the rolling and shaping process until all of your portions are rolled and shaped to your desired size. Then take about 12 slices of deli sliced ham or lunch meat ham and cut it into squares that are about 1 inch smaller than your dough squares. I made squares that are about 6 inches, so my squares of meat are going to be about 5 inches, give or take a little bit. Place 2 to 3 pieces of the ham into the center of each dough square. Make sure you leave around 1/2 inch of space between the dough and the ham. You want to make sure that you have room for when you fold the dough over to seal the edges really well without the filling poking through. Once you have the ham on there, then sprinkle about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the shredded cheese of your choice over the ham and push it off to one side. You don't want this to be right in the center. You're going to push this off to one side so that when you fold the dough over, you can fold it over the cheese and the ham. Again, make sure you're leaving that 1/2 inch border between the dough and the filling. Once you have your filling all together in your dough squares, then use the parchment paper that it's on as a guide and carefully fold the dough in half over the filling. Then use a fork or dampen your fingers and press to seal the edges completely. Make sure when you are folding this dough and when you are sealing the edges that the dough stays smooth and there are no cracks. Make sure that when you seal the edges, all the cracks are completely sealed and it is completely smooth all the way around. If there are any cracks when you bake it, your filling, especially the cheese, is going to ooze out. Now you can use any filling you want for these. You don't have to just use ham and cheese. You can make pizza pockets, you can make broccoli and cheddar pockets, you can make breakfast pockets, whatever filling you want to put in these, that is up to you. Just make sure you don't overfill these because when you fold it over, you don't want your dough to tear. And make sure you always leave that 1/2 inch border around the dough and the filling so that you can seal the edges smoothly. Once your pockets are all shaped and smooth, transfer the hot pockets to your prepared lined baking sheet. Make sure when you put them on the baking sheet that you leave a little bit of space between each one of the pockets so you have a nice even cook. If you want a brown top, all you need to do is brush the top with a little bit of melted butter. I want mine to be light. I don't want a brown top, so I'm not brushing them with anything. Place them in your preheated oven and bake at 350 degrees for 22 to 25 minutes or until the pockets are lightly golden around the edges. Once the pockets are baked, remove them from the oven and allow them to cool on the pan for at least 10 minutes. They're going to continue to cook a little bit when you take them out. Once the pockets are done firming up, you can eat them immediately or you can transfer them to a wire rack and allow them to cool completely. If you do have any leftovers, make sure you let them cool completely before you store them. Store them in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 3 days, or you can wrap them in some foil and put them in an airtight container or a freezer bag and freeze them up to 3 months. If you do choose to freeze them, to reheat them, all you need to do is take the pocket out of the freezer, of course, unwrap the foil, then wrap a paper towel around the hot pocket. This will help keep your bread soft. Then place it on a microwave-safe plate and microwave it on high for 1 to 2 minutes or until it's heated through. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.